I'm Patrick Phelps. We're on our way to the second of 3 West Coast alluvial gold mines we'll be looking at today. Recovering gold from sands and gravels relies on some combination of water and gravity, and all alluvial mines operate on that principle. But floating gold screens, such as this one owned and operated by local legend Henry Adams, are the exception rather than the rule.
But this type of ground just suits a floating operation. We've got our natural water table which is there, so we don't have to pump our water in, we don't have to pump it out. We can just strip the ground off and just keep mining. We don't have to have any pumps, lay flat. We don't have to truck the stuff to the plant or truck it away. And there's twos and fros. People say, oh, we don't like floating because you can't clean up the bottom properly. But these guys are pretty well trained. They clean the bottom up pretty good.
The bottom Henry's team is cleaning up is a hard papa layer of earth running through this area. The digger operator has to submerge the bucket and scrape gold-bearing material from the bottom, and then feed it through for processing. Before heading down to meet the crew and take a closer look, I asked Henry how he got started.
I was always drawn to machinery. I always wanted to drive machinery. It was I grew up with it on the farm, and we had a quarry on our farm as well, so that was always what I wanted to do. 15, you could just walk straight onto a mine site.
After working for a West Coast mining operation early in his career, and then a stint in Australia, Henry returned to the coast during a downturn in the gold price in 1996. He moved away from mining, turning his earth-moving skills to setting up his own contracting business.
Just earth moving and a lot of farm work and that type of thing, and all of a sudden the gold price started coming back again. I never thought we'd go gold mining again. I thought that was the end of that era, but yeah, we managed to find a bit of ground and we started mining, and yeah, it's kept us going really. We're still contracting as well, but yeah, and that's when we got back into the mining.
There's about 6 or 8 people on this site in the Alluvial Valley in any given day, with Raz here overseeing the day-to-day running of the mine.
Been with Henry 15 years now, yeah.
That's quite a long time.
Yeah, a fair while. I've done 17 years at the dairy company, but I was still doing mining and all that on my days off. Yeah, I've sort of been doing it more or less since I left school. School wasn't going that well, so I sort of got out of school and went gold mining.
Unlike smaller mines like Navarre's, where the need for cartage is comparatively limited, this larger and deeper operation requires the ongoing coordination of the carting and placement of overburden and backfilling of the mine pond.
We more or less just cart from, say, here, and we just go round and put it in behind the screen, and as the screen moves along we just follow it, take out what's in front of it and put it round behind it again. Just moving it round and round in circles, more or less, yeah.
So by the time you get to the end, everything should pretty much be tidied up behind you as you go. Is that how it works?
Yeah, that's how it works, yeah.
One of the operators carting that dirt is Cullum, who took me for a few runs on the haul road.
What time start and finish each day?
At the moment it's 7 till 5. In the past it's been 7 till 6.
How do you find the long hours?
Love it.
Why?
It just means I get a nice big paycheck at the end of the fortnight.
And are you spending most of your time in a truck?
At the moment I'm getting chucked between a digger and a truck, but mainly truck.
You got the dozer, have you had a crack on that before or not?
No, I haven't. It's more of an old man's trade, that one.
So mining wasn't the first thing you did out of school?
No, I was an engineer or a labourer for an engineering company, yeah.
Not for you?
Not for me. One of my mates called me up and said, hey, do you want a job out at this mine I'm working at? Because we're sort of short. And I thought, oh, well, hell yeah, I'll give it a go. And haven't left yet.
Driving a truck has wider applications beyond mining, and I asked Cullum if he might prefer to be working closer to town on the contracting side of Henry's business.
I have been over there, and yeah, it's definitely, days go quicker over there because you're in town and you're around people, but the hours aren't quite the same, and you don't get that gold satisfaction.
Leaving Cullum to his work, it was time to see the floating plant and talk to digger operator Ant, who gave me a rundown on what it takes to feed this floating screen.
What are you needing to be thinking about as you're putting that through the plant?
The edge given away and the digger ending up in the pond. Yeah. That's the main thing, eh? And just concentrating on getting the bottom, making sure you're getting that bottom, eh? Because that's 80% of the golds and 20% of the wash, you know? I've got an idea how deep it is, and I know where the bottom can't be far away, so you're backing off a wee bit. That time in the seat, eh? You know, just I can see with my hands now, you know.
Fortunately, Ant's not having to look through those hands for the entire shift. The two-man plant crew take it in turns, switching between the screen and the digger to stay as productive as possible.
You're only in there for 2 hours, which I think is a really good thing because you're ready to get back in here and go for it, you know, for 2 hours. Where if I was in here all day on my own, you might just about fall asleep, and it's got to all add up at the end of the week, eh?
While Ant is a coaster through and through, he has dabbled in a different way of life.
Went to Canterbury, did some stone masonry. Wasn't liking the Canterbury, you know, I love the coast, eh? Came back, wanted to get a house, needed to make a decent dollar, and thought, well, Henry Adams looks like he's got plenty of gear and I'll go hit him up.
I also needed to hit Henry up before heading up the coast, not for a job, but for a look at a little of the gold his team had been pulling out of the ground.
So what's this here? This is a
This is what they call gold wheel. And it's pretty simple, right?
So this looks much like a gold pan, really.
Well, it is really.
Again, with water and gravity, the gold wheel separates heavy gold from the lighter sands, and then deposits it into Henry's ice cream container. Where some people romanticise or glamorise gold, Henry holds a slightly more practical perspective.
It's just yellow stuff that makes me money. It doesn't do anything for me, I'm afraid. Yeah. No. It's been a way of making a living.
Before my romance died too much, I decided to hit the road and headed to the final mine in this episode, where we'll fire up the furnace and pour a bar of the good stuff.